Tacho tip. And yes, there's something in my eye, I don't know what it is, but so I'll be itching my eye a bit during this video. Tacho tip. When you put your card in, you click on manual entry. It says yes, then you press OK. And it'll give you your break when you, excuse me, your eye, but it'll give you, it'll come up with the last time you took your card out. Along the top, on the left hand side, it'll be the bed sign, and then it'll give you the current time as it is when you put your card in. To add, you've got to change the bed to other work, to add on a few minutes of other work that you did the last time you put your card in. So you add on 10-15 minutes, whatever it was at the time you finished, since the time you took your card out, which won't be on your Tacho. So you have to change the bed mode to other work, the cross hammers. Then you add on the 10-15 minutes, and then you have to press the bed mode, because you've changed it from the bed mode to the cross hammers mode. So you have to go then to the bed mode, or make sure it's on the bed mode. It may even be on the bed mode, but you have to make sure it's the bed mode between the previous shift and the current time of doing the card. That way it tells the Tacho. The Tacho doesn't have a clue what your days are, so you've got to tell it. So then, by making sure that the bed mode is on the bed mode between the last shift and the current shift you're just about to start, it tells the Tacho machine that you're on break. You've had your required break. Because if you haven't, it put you on for needing one. So by making sure that the bed mode is there between the 2 days, if it makes sense, yeah. So you've got the last shift end date, which is now accurate because you've added on the 15 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it is. And then you've got the bottom left will be the Tacho mode, and it's got to be on bed mode. Then you get today's time, which you then, time you get your Tacho in, you've probably done about 5 or 10 minutes going to the office to get your keys and get your route or find the vehicle, whatever you get your stuff from the car, whatever you, and then put it in the. So you've probably done about 5 or 10 minutes, or you started just did your checks or whatever before you put your card in. Then you have to go back to the time you started. So then you've got to go other work. So you break till the time, and then you've got the time, the hours, then the minutes, and you have to wind the minutes back to when the time you started. And then so you press OK then. And then it comes into the time that you started will be different than the time that you put your card in. And then you have to go up, press the up button, I think it's the up button, which gives you, if the minutes have clicked over, it clicks up a minute or so, or whatever, and then it gives you the exact time. So then you've probably got like 10, 12 minutes, 15 minutes of other work. But then when you've done that, you'll see, and you've pressed OK, then it'll say start your day, and it'll give you the country, and you press OK, and it'll give you manual, whatever I think it's manual entry, or whatever it is. Yeah, and then you press OK, and then that's when it actually registers. Then you'll see on the left on the screen, you'll see a little black half a card. That's where your card appears in your Tacho, and it'll be halfway. It won't be finished, so you can't do anything. Then you wait a couple of minutes, a minute, and it'll be a full card. Yeah, it'll be like it doubles in size to be a full card. And then when you've done that, if you on the buttons with the left and right and up and down, if you press down, you'll see that you've actually got your 15 minutes or whatever it is, your other work. It will show you that. So you'll have 0 on the left and left hand. You'll have zeros on the left and zeros on the right. So all along the top should be all zeros on both sides, and the bottom right should be the other work from that morning, the minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes before you put your card in. Be on the bottom right, it should be, I think, if I remember rightly. Then you've got the hours that you've driven on the left. But then it was sometimes when you press OK, it would come up driving without card. Press OK on that, even though your card's in, because your card's in. You're not driving without a card. Your card is in. You press OK, and it comes up with a normal screen. But you can panic, I suppose, if you're new to it, when you see driving without a card, because you think, how can I be driving without a card? Because my car's already in. I've already done manual entry or whatever, yeah, and that's where it is. So you press OK, and it's okay. And then you see the screen. If you don't get your bed right, if you press when you first do it, and you press your other work to add your minutes on, and forget to do the bed mode between the two shifts, within the first hour and a half, it'll put you on a break. The 15-minute break thing, the light flashes, because it will then have added the second half of your previous shift to the first bit of the day of your today's shift together, and you have probably 3.5 hours driving, or 2.5 hours driving, and 2 hours driving this morning, whatever, yeah. And then it will say you need a break, but you don't need a break. But it just means you haven't made sure that the bed mode exists between the previous shift and the shift you're doing today. If that makes sense to you, but it will. If you ever come across that situation, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. And then the working time directive. People get a bit confused with the working time directive with the driving, because it used to be half an hour. You used to have half an hour working time directive on the 5.5 hours, which means if you started your working time directive at 5:29 minutes, you would have your half an hour in before the 6 hours. But because now the working time directive is only 15 minutes and it's still at the 6 hours, people must be leaving it till 5:44 to start their 15-minute working time directive. So you get the 5:59, which is their 15 minutes tacker break, in before the 6 hours. But the problem is, you have to have your working time directive before 5.5 hours, which means you've got to start your tacker break, your working time directive break at before 5:29 to be on break, parked up, so that your 15-minute break can't be taken more than 5:44. It needs to be in by 5:44. 5 hours 44 minutes had to have had to 15 minutes, even though they say that it's a tacker break, your working time directive within 6 hours. Because if you start your tacker break at 5:44, you've gone over your 5.5 hours. And if you get a CPC class, it won't say after 5 hours 44. It will say 5.5, not 5 hours 45. Which is why people are getting working time directive infringements. Just if you start as long as you're parked up for 5:29 on break at 5:29, you won't get a working time infringement. Pretty sure, I'm almost sure of it. I don't. I very rarely get infringement on the working time directive, because I make sure my working time's in for 5:29.